Welcome in, guys, to our preview every single NFL team for the 2023 season. We're still in the AFC North, and we're with the Cleveland Browns, the skid marks of the NFL, the embarrassment of the NFL, the skid marks, the Browns. Sorry if there's any Browns fans, but you guys know you're the skid marks. I'm sorry, Browns fans, but it's true. Sorry for that, guys, but you are the skid marks. But anyway, let's get this preview over with. So put your pitchforks down, Browns fans. I'm gonna give you my thoughts of what you did in the offseason and give you a good valuation of what you did in the offseason, in the draft and whatever. So you did have a second round pick and third round pick in this year's draft because you got Deshaun Watson last year, and I know that beginning of last season you didn't have 14 games because of the because of what happened in the what happened. So you didn't have 14 games. You had in the middle of the season, missed out on the playoffs, and it is what it was, and it is what it is, and that's what happened. So Deshaun Watson's in as a quarterback. You have him. You've got Cedric Tillman, who again in the draft, Cedric Tillman who as wide receiver. That is a good acquisition. I think Cedric Tillman out of this wide receiver class. I look at Najibia, Jordan Anderson. A lot of good. This was a good wide receiver class, and you had Cedric Tillman who went in the second round, which really kind of shocked me. Like, wow, and, I was expecting at least him go late first round, but he was a good acquisition for the Browns. Good for them getting that weapons for Deshaun Watson. Another one that really shocked me, I think, in the draft, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, it was Darwin Jones. Darwin Jones, offensive tackle from Ohio State. I look at the offensive tackle line you had. Peter Skulinski. Peter Skulinski, you had Donnell Wright. You had a really good offensive line / offensive tackle class, and then you had Donnell Wright who went in like Donald Jones who went in like the third round. That is a good acquisition. He's going to help Deshaun Watson in the trenches and stuff like that. That's what they really need help in. Defensive, again, the Browns need to work on the defensive side of the ball. So they got Isaiah McGuire, edge from Mississippi. That's a good addition. Again, if you look at the edge rushing class, you had Isaiah Foskey, you had Lucas Van Ness, which I don't really rate him, but again, he went in the first round. So again, there's something that these NFL scouts are seeing, but I'm not seeing. But he went in the first round. So you had Isaiah McGuire as an edge for Mississippi. Sorry. Then you had Dorian Thompson-Robinson again. Like I said in other videos, that because of the whole pandemic in 2020, a couple of the guys who were in college, the older quarterbacks who were 24, 25, they had a couple more eligibility years and they could stay in college because of the pandemic. And you also, like I said, in this quarterback class, you had a lot of old quarterbacks in there. A lot of, you had Stetson Bennett was in there from Georgia. Dorian Thompson-Robinson was in there. DTR was in there. From UCLA, you had obviously Hendon Hooker and others that were kind of from that 2020-2021 class that were still in college. So he got drafted in the fourth. And again, I look at DTR. You can have as a rotation option. He's a good QB2. If this whole thing with Deshaun Watson doesn't work out, again, you got a shit ton of money on this trade. If it don't work out, you can bring him in. He's 24. He's a good age, so I'm okay with that. And then you got Cameron Mitchell, who I'm a fan of. I did like him on tape, cornerback from Northwestern. He's a good addition to this Browns team. Again, I talk about that the Browns was not really, their defense was bad last season. They really need to work on that defensive side of the ball and gain as a McGuire at edge. And then coming in at like the 5th or 6th round and gain Cameron Mitchell, quarterback, 21 years old. Great addition there as well. And then also you've got somebody in the trenches again here who I think is probably going to be like that rotation option that, it's going to be, you got Luke Wypler. I don't know how you say your last name. I may botch it, but he's from Ohio State. He's a corner. He's going to help on that offensive side of the ball. So I'm interested in obviously he's going to work in the trenches. Then you got a couple free agents that they signed. You got Dalvin Thompson, Dawand Tomlinson, defensive tackle. They got him for 4 years for $22 million. For $22 million for 4 years. He had a 5.3 pass progressions on forced passes for the Vikings. And then they got Juan Forhill from the Chiefs. Again, a Super Bowl winner. Get that winning mindset mentality that they have. So again, good addition from safety. Aroko for defensive line. So that was that. And that was really the Browns. What I think the Browns are going to finish. You look at that AFC North, and it's really, you look at that division, the Bengals have really done well, like I talked about a couple of days ago. The Bengals did well. Steelers, this is Kenny Pickett's second year. How's he going to be doing really in Pittsburgh? And then you've got Lamar Jackson and then the Ravens. And how's that going to be? They got OBJ now. And you got OBJ now from the Rams. So again, there's a lot of great things going on in the AFC North. Where everything's going to finish, I'm going to say maybe third in the division. They're going to be fighting out. Like, you're going to have Baltimore and the Bengals going first and second with Pittsburgh getting there. But I think it's probably about third place for them. But yeah, the Browns, very underwhelming draft in my opinion. I think they did some good things here. Getting like Cedric Tillman was a good addition. Getting McGuire was good. Darwood Jones at offensive tackle was great. But very underwhelming draft. I think not really the best. And Darius Thompson-Robinson, he could be a good addition too. I think he's a good quarterback for the Browns. Good backup if Deshaun Watson doesn't work out. Then you have yourself your quarterback.